Welcome to the story of the sower. This story is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 1 through 9 and 18 through 23. The lesson focus for grades 3 and 4 is, We are good soil for God's seed. Jesus was a storyteller. He used stories called parables to teach. Parables often seem simple and concrete at first. In reality, they can be challenging to interpret, partly because our lives are different from life in Jesus' time and place. But this is also because parables aren't tidy. They're meant to make you think. They require patience and imagination to unlock meaning. This parable describes how God's word spreads and multiplies. It is unusual because it comes with an explanation. Most of Jesus' parables do not. The story and the explanation parallel each other. 4 possible places for the seed to land relate to the 4 different outcomes. There are many factors that affect the crop: soil quality, weather, birds, and other plants. The reality this parable presents is this: sometimes, no matter what you do, the crop doesn't come in. Farming is risky. Jesus' original audience would have understood this message well. Much of Jesus' ministry centered on teaching. We are fortunate that so many of his parables survived and are included in our Bible. These teaching stories invite us in and encourage us in our faith. Jesus teaches us. God's word is like a seed. It works in unexpected ways. The outcomes we might expect don't always occur. But notice that the sower sows the seed everywhere, flings the word with such abandon that it falls on the path, the rocky soil, and the thorns, in addition to the good soil. It is almost as if the point is the sowing, not just the growing. This parable is descriptive. It does not carry a moral or tell us how to be. Jesus is not calling us to be good seed or good soil or a good sower. It just describes with honesty and frankness the realities of God's word in the world. Sometimes it bears fruit, and sometimes it doesn't. But the word is extravagantly sprinkled throughout regardless. There's always a chance. That's how God does things, because God's word works in unexpected ways. And we can respond in faithful ways by planting God's word and being good soil for God's seed. Your 3rd and 4th graders will learn that they can help spread God's word by being good soil for God's seed. For some kids, the only time they hear people sharing their faith is at church. As one of their important faith mentors, remember that you are making a huge difference in your kids' lives. Even if it seems like they aren't listening, they hear you and they remember their time with you. Checking in with parents requires a little more work as kids get older, but it's still important. Even though kids are no longer picked up from class by their parents, make the extra effort to seek out parents before or after church. If parents know that you are dedicated to the kids, they'll be more likely to encourage their kids to participate. 3rd and 4th grade is a great age for kids to begin practicing leading groups of peers in prayer. Give them the opportunity to lead the opening prayer in this week's lesson. Hand over your leader guide and invite them to say the leader lines. You can join the group in responding, "Lord, let our hearts be good soil." Kids will make paper seedling pots out of their leaflets during the Take Root activity. However, make sure you have some newspaper or recycled paper on hand as well. Some kids may want to keep their leaflets to preserve the work they've done. If so, provide those kids with an alternate paper to make their seed starter. Through the rich images and the earthiness of soil that you'll explore in this lesson, you can help kids see that they can be good soil for God's seed.